You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
On a Swiss mountaintop, armed guards protect a secret meeting of the world's power elite. At Yale University, the scions of America's first families confess their sexual exploits from a gruesome coffin. In a smoke-filled room, a handful of power brokers manipulate the global economy. These are the purported activities of some of America's secret societies, groups with names like Bilderberg, Skull and Bones, and the Trilateral Commission.
People are familiar with the more famous names that are connected to these secret societies, Henry Kissinger, David Rockefeller, etc., etc. But there are literally hundreds of top-level, very powerful people who are at the inner core of these secret societies.
From the United States' earliest history, secret societies such as the Freemasons and the Oddfellows have existed. Their rituals, symbols, and secret handshakes have offered an endless source of fascination and speculation for the uninitiated.
History is just one long list of conspiracies. In fact, I often tell people if it's not an act of God, it's a conspiracy.
Although there are hundreds of secret societies operating in the United States, there are a few whose names appear frequently. They are the Freemasons, Skull and Bones, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, and the most secretive of all, Bilderberg. Although many of these groups have a public face and diverse membership roles, conspiracy researchers like David Icke believe these groups are all controlled by one elite group.
The structure by which the world is controlled by a few people, literally a handful at the very top, is like Russian dolls, one doll inside another, inside another, inside another. I call this web in which they all fit the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, illuminated into knowledge that the rest of us don't get. And that Illuminati has been manipulating for centuries.
By the end of the first millennium AD, one small group of 9 French crusaders form under the name Knights Templar.
Now, the official story is that they were created to protect pilgrims visiting the Holy Land. They went to Jerusalem and they stayed there for 9 years, and they were searching for something, and it seems they found it, whatever it was. And suddenly things changed very rapidly. This small little 9-man organization started to massively expand.
Just what the Knights Templar find remains a mystery.
It became one of the most, if not the most influential organizations in Europe. To join the Templars, you had to give them all your wealth and land, and they were signing up the noble families of Europe. They became massively wealthy, massively quickly.
For nearly 200 years, the Knights Templar gain hundreds, perhaps thousands of members from the wealthiest of the European elite. Although the total membership remains unknown, we do know the Knights Templar are able to amass a fortune they use to exert tremendous control throughout Europe by, in effect, controlling its largest private banking system.
They had the crown heads of Europe up to their neck in debt to them.
In 1307, the Knights Templar are almost wiped out. The King of France convinces Pope Clement V that they are not the holy defenders of the faith, but in fact are seeking to destroy it.
I think it was the King of France's desire for their wealth more than anything else, which caused him to turn against them. But the vehicle that he used to turn against them was a conspiracy theory, he found it useful, as have many kings and many other people since then found it useful to adopt a conspiracy theory as a means to attack an enemy.
Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the Knights Templar, is burned at the stake in Paris in 1314. But a few surviving Templars are believed to have escaped execution.
The Templars went north, fleeing from France, to Scotland, and they re-emerged under another name, the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry is the biggest secret society in the world. Its membership pervades world politics, business, banking, the whole shebang. And it's the Templars under another name.
When we continue, The world's largest secret society comes to America, and its influence is enormous.
Of the 56 signatories of the American Declaration of Independence, 50 were known Freemasons, only one was known not to be.
Well, Bilderberg is a meeting of the most influential and powerful people around the world. Once a year in secret, the top heads of media, banking, corporations, and government meet in secret to decide policy that they will play out throughout the years. Now, David Yan, the chairman of the Bilderberg Group, actually said that the Bilderberg Group created the European Union and the Euro. So these people are very powerful. They rule in secrecy, and they're also a bunch of eugenicists.
And a lot of people didn't see the validity in talking about this as something that was real. But many of the predictions that the Bilderberg Group has made, especially relating to the economy and the financial meltdown in Europe, have been extremely accurate. Talk a little bit about that and how that has sort of altered public perception.
Well, sure. I mean, you get 150 or so. Previously, it was about 125 of the heads of Dutch Royal Shell, royalty, the head of the Dutch Royal House, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all together is really a mafia commission meeting, and they're deciding on any disputes and the agenda for the following year. Because they're already going in the basic direction they want to.
A new world order, a new world order.
2 years ago, I traveled to Virginia and covered the Bilderberg Group, and the intel we got from inside was that Obama had been chosen and that Hillary was going to step down from the campaign. That was done 2 days later after we announced it. We were able to discover that the Bilderberg Group was planning to run gas prices up to $150 a barrel. People laughed at us. It then happened in the next year. The Bilderberg Group said that they'd made deals to have the stage collapse of the Berlin Wall. Jim Tucker reported on that a full year before it happened. Jim Tucker also reported from his Bilderberg inside sources that Bush was going to announce that he did believe in global warming and wanted carbon taxes. And that became a verified, documented truth later. When the Washington Post was announcing that the attack on Iraq was going to be 2002, American Free Press and others reported from their Bilderberg sources that the owners of the Washington Post, Mr. Graham, had attended and knew that it was going to be in March of '03. That was later confirmed. So, yes, the Bilderberg Group is the highest level of world government.